Coming up next on Passion Struck, imagine reaching the height of your career, leading your team with confidence, and then, in one split second, facing a life-changing injury that threatens to take everything away. For most, that would mean the end. But what if it didn't have to be? What if that moment became the beginning of an incredible transformation, a journey not just about physical healing, but of redefining purpose, resilience, and identity? In episode 534, we explore a story that goes beyond sports, a journey of one man's unbreakable spirit and the science of what drives us forward, even in the face of unimaginable odds. Join us for an inspiring look into the power of resilience and the choices that shape a life of significance. Welcome to Passion Struck. Hi, I'm your host, John R. Miles, and on the show, we decipher the secrets, tips, and guidance of the world's most inspiring people and turn their wisdom into practical advice for you and those around you. Our mission is to help you unlock the power of intentionality so that you can become the best version of yourself. If you're new to the show, I offer advice and answer listener questions on Fridays. We have long-form interviews the rest of the week with guests ranging from astronauts to authors, CEOs, creators, innovators, scientists, military leaders, visionaries, and athletes. Now, let's go out there and become Passion Struck. Hey, Passion Struck family. Welcome to episode 534 of the Passion Struck podcast. I'm so grateful for each of you tuning in week after week, bringing your energy, dedication, and commitment to intentional living. It's this shared journey toward purpose and growth that makes our community so powerful. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. You've just stepped into a space dedicated to meaningful change in every area of your life. And we're thrilled to have you here. This week has already been packed with insights and inspiration. Earlier, I had this privilege of speaking with Dr. Lisa Miller, who shared her powerful research on the science of spirituality and resilience. She broke down the transformative ways that a deep spiritual life can enhance our mental health, particularly in tough times. Then, Isra Nasir joined us to dive into practical strategies for building emotional resilience and fostering mental well-being in a way that aligns with our daily lives. If you've missed either of those episodes, I highly recommend going back and listening. Each conversation is full of insights that can help you live more intentionally. And if you're wondering where to start with the podcast, we've made it super easy with our episode starter packs. With over 530 episodes, we know it can be overwhelming, so we've curated playlists on themes like leadership, mental health, and personal growth. Check them out on Spotify or visit passionstruck.com/starterpacks to find the perfect starting point for you. For those looking to deepen their insights from our conversations, don't forget to sign up for my Live Intentionally newsletter. Each week, I share exclusive content, practical exercises, and tools to help you apply the lessons from the podcast directly to your life. Head over to passionstruck.com/newsletter to start living with more intention today. Plus, if you want to watch these episodes in a more visual format, all our interviews, solo episodes, and highlights are available on our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to stay updated on our latest content. Today's Momentum Friday episode takes us on a journey of resilience like no other, a story that challenges us to rethink how we respond to life-altering events. When NFL Hall of Fame quarterback Alex Smith suffered a career-threatening injury, he faced not only the potential end of his career, but also the challenge of redefining his identity and reclaiming his purpose. In a split second, everything changed, and he was thrust into a journey that tested his resilience at every level. But this isn't a story about returning to the game. It's a powerful case study in the science of resilience, how purpose, mindset, and intentional actions can help us overcome even the most daunting obstacles. In today's episode, we'll uncover 5 essential principles from Alex Smith's journey that reveal how each of us can apply resilience in our own lives. From the power of incremental progress to the importance of looking beyond labels to redefine our identity, Smith's story offers profound lessons on mastering life's toughest challenges. Whether you're facing your own setback or striving toward a greater purpose, join me as we dive into Alex Smith's inspiring journey and explore the science of building an unbreakable, resilient mindset. Let's get started. Thank you for choosing Passion Struck and choosing me to be your host and guide on your journey to creating an intentional life. Now, let that journey begin. Alex Smith's journey began long before his incredible NFL comeback. Born in Bremerton, Washington, In 1984, Smith showed early signs of athletic prowess and leadership. Standing 6'4" and weighing 215 pounds, he quickly became a standout at Helix High School in La Mesa, California. His exceptional skill as both a passer and runner led him to the University of Utah, where he went 21-1 as a starter and helped revolutionize college football. Under coach Urban Meyer, Smith became a transformational player in the spread offense, leading Utah to back-to-back Mountain West Conference titles and becoming the first BCS Buster to play in a BCS Bowl. Smith's accomplishments at Utah set him apart, leading to his selection as the first overall pick in the 2005 NFL Draft by the San Francisco 49ers. However, his early NFL career was marked by challenges, including multiple coaching changes and team instability, which tested his resolve. Despite these obstacles, Smith demonstrated remarkable resilience, laying the groundwork for the career-defining strength he would later display. It was with the Kansas City Chiefs that Smith's talents fully blossomed. Under coach Andy Reid's guidance, he evolved into a skilled and respected quarterback, known for his strategic play and leadership. By 2017, Smith led the NFL in passer ratings, playing a crucial role in the Chiefs' success. Throughout these years, Smith was not only admired for his aptitude on the field, but also respected for his dedication, work ethic, and determination. He was the embodiment of a player who understood that success is built on consistency and purpose. Smith's achievements in college and the NFL frame his story as one of both triumph and endurance. His identity as a leader and athlete was established long before his injury, but it was these qualities, his unshakable commitment and resilience, that would lead him through the darkest days of his recovery and enable him to make one of the most extraordinary comebacks in sports history. On November 18, 2018, during a game against the Houston Texans, Alex Smith experienced the moment that would redefine the course of his life. A brutal tackle resulted in a compound fracture of both his tibia and fibula, an injury so severe that beyond the immediate pain, it sparked a series of life-threatening complications. Infection set in, escalating his situation from a career-threatening injury to a crisis that put his leg and his life at risk. Weeks in the hospital and over a dozen surgeries followed as he battled both the physical devastation and the unforeseen danger of infection. For Smith, however, this injury went beyond a physical ordeal. It was a moment of reckoning with his very identity. For over a decade, he had been defined by his role as an NFL quarterback, a position that brought him both purpose and societal worth. Football wasn't just his job, it was the foundation of how he understood himself and his place in the world. Now confined to a hospital bed with no guarantee of walking again, let alone playing, Smith was forced to confront the void that came with the potential loss of that identity. This wasn't just a journey of physical recovery, but one that demanded a reevaluation of resilience. For years, resilience to him had meant pushing through tough seasons, injuries, and the high-stakes world of professional sports. Now, he had to dig deeper, facing questions that transcended any playbook. What does resilience look like when the future is completely unknown? And if football was no longer an option, who was Alex Smith without it? During these dark days, a shift began to occur. Faced with so much uncertainty, Smith started to reimagine his life's purpose beyond the field. Rather than seeing resilience merely as the ability to return to the game, he began to view it as a broader commitment to intentional living and personal growth. He adopted a new mantra: just live, a reminder to value each moment, to stop striving for unattainable perfection, and to live with gratitude and presence. This injury phase marks a crucial turning point in Smith's journey, from being driven by external validation to embracing a life fueled by intrinsic purpose. By focusing on this commitment to resilience, he transformed a devastating setback into an opportunity to redefine himself, not just as an athlete, but as a person capable of enduring and thriving beyond his original vision of success. The Alex Smith story of resilience and recovery isn't just a testament to physical endurance. It offers a real-world exploration of the science-backed strategies that foster resilience. Following his injury, Smith faced a long road to recovery, one filled with uncertainty, pain, and grueling rehabilitation. Yet, through every phase of his journey, his mental approach and physical endurance reveal the critical elements that drive resilience and recovery. When he began this journey, Smith wasn't just attempting to return to football. He was confronting the limits of his own identity and resilience. Each step in his rehabilitation required intentional, purpose-driven action, demonstrating how resilience is built from a combination of mindset, habits, and a stronger support system. Research on resilience shows that mental resilience is often just as crucial as physical recovery. When faced with life-changing setbacks, one of the most important factors in recovery is psychological flexibility, the ability to adapt mentally to changing circumstances and persist through discomfort. This idea, which aligns with Angela Duckworth's research on grit, emphasizes that resilience isn't just about enduring, it's about sustaining a mindset that embraces adversity as an opportunity for growth. For Smith, the mental challenges were formidable. He had to face the possibility that he might never walk normally again, let alone play football. Instead of surrendering to despair, he used this uncertainty to fuel his progress. By focusing on small, achievable milestones, he was able to shift his attention from the overwhelming final goal, returning to the NFL, to daily progress, building resilience through incremental steps. This approach aligns with the insights from B.J. Fogg on habit formation. Fogg's work emphasizes that establishing small, consistent habits creates a foundation for long-term resilience. For Smith, each day's success was built on a series of small wins, getting out of bed, regaining strength, and mastering physical therapy exercises. These seemingly minor victories became powerful psychological motivators, reinforcing his commitment to recovery and reminding him of the purpose that fueled his journey. Resilience research consistently underscores the importance of a support system in recovery. For Smith, family, friends, teammates, and medical professionals provided the foundation that allowed him to keep moving forward. His wife, in particular, played a pivotal role in his journey, offering encouragement and reassurance when the challenges seemed insurmountable. This sense of psychological safety, the feeling of being supported and understood, was critical to Smith's mental endurance and progress. Behavioral scientist Amy Edmondson's work on psychological safety highlights how essential support networks are for building resilience. Smith's support system provided practical help and bolstered his confidence and sense of purpose. In every challenge, he knew he wasn't alone, which allowed him to confront his fears, build resilience, and push through each recovery phase. The Alex Smith redemption story reached its pinnacle with one of the most extraordinary comebacks in sports history. After a grueling recovery process that challenged both his body and mind, Smith returned to the NFL in 2020, 2 years after his catastrophic injury and numerous surgeries. This wasn't just a physical triumph, it was a profound testament to purpose-driven change, resilience, and a mindset focused on intentional living. Smith's return to the field was a moment of victory, not only for him, but for everyone who had followed his story. His comeback was a masterclass in resilience, a testament to the belief that purpose and intentionality can drive us to transcend what we once thought was possible. For Alex Smith, this comeback was about far more than playing football. After facing the real possibility of never walking again, Smith's journey forced him to redefine his identity. Football had once defined who he once was, but in the wake of his injury, he began to see himself beyond the label of quarterback. He constructed a new identity rooted in resilience, growth, and an unwavering commitment to overcome adversity. This redefined sense of self echoes Passion-Struck's reoccurring theme of finding purpose beyond one's roles and accomplishments. Alex Smith's story teaches us that setbacks can serve as an opportunity to reconnect with our deeper purpose. By framing his comeback around resilience rather than achievement, Smith showed that success is not defined solely by winning, but by the courage to persevere and adapt. His intentional actions, focusing on recovery and redefining what he stood for, allowed him to build a life filled with meaning, regardless of the limitations imposed by his injury. Smith's return to the NFL required a major psychological shift. No longer driven solely by performance metrics, he began to see his comeback as a broader mission. His journey became about more than just returning to the game. It became about proving to himself, his family, and others that resilience is possible, even in the face of profound adversity. This purpose-driven mindset was essential in guiding his actions, reminding him that his struggle had significance beyond the field. His comeback illustrates the mindset for resilience, a mental approach that sees purpose as something we actively create, not just something we chase. Through his recovery, Smith demonstrated the power of aligning intentions with actions, allowing purpose to serve as a guiding force. Instead of merely focusing on a return to normal, he embraced every stage of his journey as an intentional step toward a new life. This shift in perspective illustrates how purpose-driven change can help us redefine what success means especially in the face of setbacks. Alex Smith's journey provides not only inspiration, but actionable insights into the nature of resilience and purpose-driven recovery. By examining his path, we can uncover science-based lessons that are relevant to anyone looking to rebuild after a setback, redefine their identity, and cultivate resilience through intentional action. The first lesson that we can learn is to embrace resilience through incremental progress. Smith's path to recovery exemplifies the power of incremental progress. In the wake of his injury, he didn't start by envisioning an immediate return to the NFL. Instead, he focused on small, achievable steps that would gradually bring him closer to his goal. This approach to incremental progress aligns with the insights from resilience research, particularly the work of B.J. Fogg on habit formation. By celebrating small wins and maintaining a steady course, Smith avoided the psychological overwhelm that often accompanies major setbacks. Each step in his recovery reinforced his belief that resilience is built gradually, not overnight. For Smith, resilience was built day by day, with each milestone, learning to walk again, building strength, pushing through physical therapy, acting as a small win that reinforced his motivation. This incremental approach helped him avoid feeling overwhelmed and kept his focus on tangible progress rather than an abstract end goal. The key takeaway here is for anyone facing a significant setback, focus on small victories. By breaking down large challenges into manageable actions, you can build resilience gradually, creating momentum and celebrating each step forward. The path to resilience isn't a leap, it's a series of small, purposeful steps. So here's your challenge. Identify one area of your life where you'd like to build resilience. Break it down into small, achievable steps and set a goal to complete just one step this week. Celebrate each small victory as it brings you closer to your larger goal, knowing that resilience is a journey of gradual progress. The second lesson we can learn from Alex Smith's story is purpose beyond circumstances. Alex Smith's comeback reminds us that purpose isn't confined by circumstances. It's something we create intentionally. Despite the severity of his injury, Smith chose to see his recovery as a purpose-driven journey, not merely a physical feat. By focusing on his deeper why, to prove resilience, to be a role model for his family, and to reclaim his sense of self, he was able to find meaning in his journey, even during the toughest moments. Purpose-driven living is a recurring theme in resilience research and on what we discuss on the Passion Struck podcast. Studies show that individuals who maintain a strong sense of purpose are better equipped to handle stress and adversity. Smith's journey reflects this principle, as his sense of purpose transcended the limitations imposed by his injury. Instead of defining his purpose solely by his role as an athlete, he redefined it around resilience, family, and personal growth. The key takeaway here is that purpose is not bound by the roles we play or the circumstances we face. By identifying what truly drives you, even in difficult times, you can find a powerful source of motivation that propels you forward. Purpose creates resilience by providing a reason to endure, adapt, and thrive. So here's your challenge. Reflect on what drives you beyond your current situation. Ask yourself, what values and goals matter to me, regardless of my circumstances? Write down a purpose statement that reflects who you want to be and use it as a guiding principle when facing challenges. Purpose is the anchor that helps you stay grounded no matter what life throws your way. The third lesson that we can learn is to redefine success around growth, not achievement. Smith's story is also a testament to the importance of redefining identity beyond professional roles. For years, he had identified primarily as a quarterback, and with that role threatened, he faced an existential crisis. His injury forced him to confront who he was beyond the game of football and ultimately allowed him to redefine his identity around resilience, family, and intentional living. Professor Carol Dweck detailed the advantages of reframing your mindset in the wake of a setback in her book, Mindset: The New Psychology of Success. She posits that by shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, you can open yourself up to opportunities for improvement and new beginnings. This process aligns with psychological research on identity flexibility, which emphasizes the importance of seeing ourselves beyond specific roles. By reconstructing his sense of self beyond his career, Smith was able to regain a strong, stable foundation that wasn't solely dependent on external achievements. He became a symbol of resilience, showing that identity can be fluid and adaptable when we choose to focus on our core values rather than our labels. The key takeaway here is when setbacks threaten your identity, embrace the opportunity to redefine who you are beyond your job or achievements. Ask yourself, what values do I hold? What qualities do I want to embody? By aligning your sense of self with your values, you can create an identity that endures, regardless of life's challenges. Your challenge is to think about a goal you're pursuing and consider how you might redefine success in terms of growth and learning rather than just achievement. What skills, qualities, or strengths do you want to build through this experience? By focusing on growth, you'll build resilience that extends far beyond any specific outcome. The fourth lesson that we can learn is the importance of psychological flexibility. Smith's journey exemplifies psychological flexibility, a crucial trait in overcoming adversity. Faced with an uncertain future and painful physical challenges, he needed to adapt mentally, shifting his perspective from what he had lost to what he could still achieve. Psychological flexibility, the ability to adapt to changing circumstances and adopt new strategies, helps Smith to endure the grueling recovery process with a resilient mindset. This concept is supported by research in psychology, particularly within the field of acceptance and commitment therapy, which emphasizes the importance of adapting to circumstances rather than resisting them. Smith's recovery required him to let go of his previous expectations and embrace a new set of goals, allowing him to cultivate resilience in a way that wasn't bound by past standards. The key takeaway here is that life's challenges often require us to adapt rather than resist. Cultivate psychological flexibility by embracing change and viewing setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow. Flexibility in how we approach our goals allows us to maintain resilience even when the path forward isn't clear. So here's your challenge. Practice flexibility by identifying one area in your life where you're resisting change. Challenge yourself to reframe this resistance and explore a different perspective. Instead of seeing change as a threat, view it as an opportunity to grow. By adopting a flexible mindset, you strengthen your resilience and open yourself up to new possibilities. And the fifth and final lesson that we learn is support and self-determination, which is a balanced foundation. One of the most powerful elements of Alex Smith's story of resilience and recovery is the role of his support system coupled with his own self-determination. From his wife and family to his medical team, Smith's support network played a pivotal role in his journey, providing encouragement, guidance, and stability. However, his ultimate success was driven by his own determination to push through each phase of his recovery. Studies on resilience consistently underscore the importance of support systems in overcoming adversity. Having people who believe in us and encourage us strengthens our resolve, helping us move forward when we're tempted to give up. However, as Smith's journey shows, while support is essential, it's our internal drive and self-determination that ultimately determine our success. The key takeaway here is to seek out a support network that strengthens your resolve. But remember that resilience is also built from within. Rely on others for encouragement, but let your determination be the driving force that pushes you through challenges. True resilience is the balance between external support and personal commitment. So here's your challenge. Identify the people in your life who support your growth and encourage you through setbacks. Reach out to them and express gratitude for their presence in your life. At the same time, commit to relying on your inner strength to push yourself forward. Support systems are essential, but it's your determination that will drive your journey. So as we look at today's episode, Alex Smith's journey reminds us that resilience isn't simply about enduring hardship. It's about harnessing every setback as an opportunity to redefine ourselves, find deeper purpose, and push beyond what we once thought possible. His comeback story demonstrates that resilience is a skill we build through intentional choices, small victories, and a mindset that welcomes growth even in the face of profound adversity. Smith's story isn't unique because he made it back to the NFL. It's extraordinary because he took an unimaginable setback and used it to build a life rooted in purpose, resilience, and self-reinvention. His return to football was a triumph, but the real victory lay in how he transformed his identity beyond the game, embracing a life defined by values rather than roles. So, as we reflect on the lesson from Smith's path, here's the challenge. How can we apply these insights to our own lives? As we close, take a moment to reflect on your own path. Where are you facing challenges? Where can you redefine your purpose, lean into resilience, or take small steps toward a larger goal? Smith's story is a reminder that every setback contains the potential for growth and transformation. With resilience, intention, and purpose, each of us has the power to craft a life that goes beyond adversity and leaves a legacy of strength, purpose, and meaning. Wow, what an incredible journey we just explored with Alex Smith, a journey that transcends the field, reminding us of the power that resilience, purpose, and intention have in shaping our lives. Alex's story shows us that life isn't defined by a single role of success or failure, but by the strength to overcome, to redefine purpose, and to rise beyond setbacks with a lasting impact. Remember, every setback holds the potential for growth, for transformation, and for discovering a strength you may not have realized was within you. If today's episode resonated with you, let us know. Please take a moment to leave us a 5-star rating and review. It truly helps us reach more listeners with stories of transformation and inspiration like Alex's. And the best way to support the show? Share it with someone who may need a reminder of the power within them to rebuild, to find purpose, and to create a life that matters. I'm also passionate about bringing these lessons beyond the podcast and into organizations, conferences, and universities. If you're looking to inspire your team, ignite growth in your company, or create intentional change in your community, I'd love to connect. Head over to johnrmiles.com/speaking to see how we can bring these transformational lessons to your next event. You can find links to everything we discussed today in the show notes at passionstruck.com. Videos of this episode are also available on our YouTube channel. And don't forget to check out our sponsors and exclusive deals at passionstruck.com/deals. Supporting those who support the show truly makes a difference. Before we go, I have something exciting lined up for our next episode. I'll be sitting down in person with Glenn Phillips, singer-songwriter and the driving force behind the band Toad the Wet Sprocket, to talk about creativity, resilience, and redefining success. It's an episode you won't want to miss. Thank you for joining us, and as always, for your commitment to living a life of purpose and impact.
A difficult process to even, with our own reactions, be able to slow down enough to wonder, to be curious about where we're being rational and where we are rationalizing and where we're being emotional, and especially in places, and my ex-wife, actually, my first wife, told me to, years ago, to examine very closely places where I feel righteous indignation, and that the places, the people who make me the most angry, the things that make me feel the most keenly aggravated, are places where I probably need to look at myself first. And that practice has helped me a lot in compassion to people in difficult situations, and to see where I'm getting angry at something that I'm actually really mad at myself for not being better at.
Remember, the fee for the show is simple. If you found value here, share it with someone else who might benefit, and let's keep doing our best to live what we listen. Until next time, live life passion-struck.